Bore da, good morning and welcome back to Right Nice Places. And today I am in a very right nice place, and I can't believe it's taken me this long in my YouTubing career to bring you to this place, arguably one of the most beautiful places in Eryri. Behind me you can see the mighty Twll, and that might give you a clue as to where I am today, but I'm going to show you now. So I've brought you to this place, the Llyn Valley, right in the heart of Eryri, an absolute stunner surrounded by the Welsh 3000s, and I'll describe more of it now. So look at this now, I'm walking down the Llyn Valley and it is windy today and it is wet today, which is why I'm kind of here. I'm sure that you've all experienced the very scary sounding storm Amy this weekend. Well, it's been no different in Eryri, let me tell you. In fact, it's been pretty bloody horrendous. We've had floods, we've had power cuts, and the tops of the mountains have had 90 to 100 mile an hour winds whipping across them. Now the storm is dying down today, but it's still way too dangerous to be going up any mountains today, way too dangerous. So what I have done is brought you to the Llyn Valley. You can probably see Twll behind me covered in clouds. To my right, I'll show you now, is Llyn, which is that scramble going up there, and that will lead you to the Carneddau. And that is somewhere that I would not want to be today. Maxi on the path. That is somewhere I'd not want to be today. But where I am going today is if you find yourself stuck in Eryri, in bad weather, but you want to see the tops of mountains, you want to see history, you want to see myths, legends, and possibly some of the most beautiful examples of glacial valleys in the UK, if not the world, then where I'm going to take you today will be right up your street. And today, the place I'm going to be taking you to is a place called Llyn Idwal. And Llyn Idwal is tucked away up in the Eryri mountains, and is known also as the Devil's Kitchen, woof, or in Welsh, Twll, which is the black hole. So, together, let's go and find out why Llyn Idwal has got so much mystery surrounding it, and why ancient people called it the black hole or the Devil's Kitchen. It's got to be pretty scary, hasn't it? But for now, enjoy these views of the Llyn Valley. So if you want to do Llyn Idwal, what I've done this morning is I've parked up on one of the lay-bys, and the beautiful time about this time of year, or the beautiful thing about this time of year, is I've come out late this morning at 11 o'clock and I can find spaces in the lay-bys in Llyn Valley. If you came here in summer, you ain't having that. You need to be down here by 6-7 a.m. But if you can't make it on a lay-by, Llyn Idwal does have a visitor centre. I'm stood there now, I'm going to show you around. So here's the visitor centre. You've got a little coffee shop that's open at weekends, you've got toilets that seem to be open all the time, and you have got this car park here. Yeah, and this is a public pay and display car park. It's not got loads of spaces, and again, it gets full really quick. But from here, we're going to take a walk now up to Llyn Idwal itself. And the weather is so wet, so wet today, which is why I've got my daft crap hat on. But it's a new purchase, so I know I look a bit of a wally, but this is a new sealskin hat that I've bought. Ear protectors, Gore-Tex, and fur lined as well. So yeah, brilliant, especially if you've got a bald Swede like I have. And just before we set off on the path, let me show you this weather that we're walking in today. So yeah, you can see how minging it is. That's Llyn in front of us. I certainly wouldn't want to be going up to there today. And that's exactly why I'm not going up a mountain today. Too dangerous. But anyway, I'll show you the beginning of this path that we're going to take now. So here you go. So this is the beginning of Cwm Idwal, or Llyn Idwal's walk. And we're going to go up the valley now. And this isn't a difficult walk, guys. There's a well-marked path like what you can see in front of me all the way around. What this path will offer you, maybe not today, is spectacular views of some of the Welsh 3000s. So when we come around this mountain, you're going to see lots of beautiful things, or maybe not as beautiful as they should be today with this weather, but you're going to see, well, in fact, let me get to the viewpoint and I'll show you exactly what we're going to see. So if this weather wasn't so damn bad, what you'd see in front of me there is Twll. Just around here, you might see it through the clouds, is Glyd Just over there, you can just see it peeking through, is Glyd. If I turn around here, you've got Foel Goch, And then you've got the Carneddau just over there, and again, Pen yr Olwyn just there. So if you came here on a nice day, lots of views, but if you come here on a wet day, lots of waterfalls. So as you can see behind me, this path isn't a difficult one. In fact, it's a very simple one. In weathers like this, it can be very slippy, so I'd still have decent footwear on, because it's very easy to twist an ankle or something like that. But anyway, Llyn Idwal. Why is it called Idwal? So, for those that don't know, Llyn Idwal is named after the grandson of Owain Gwynedd. Now, Owain Gwynedd was a king back in ancient Wales back in the day, and his son was well loved by everybody. He was a fair, sort of innocent child, really, liked his poetry, liked his reading, you know, a modern man by all accounts. Anyway, when his dad, good old Owain Gwynedd, was off doing battle, his rascally uncle decided to take him for a walk on this very path. Maybe not this very path, I don't think Mountain Rescue had laid it yet, but anyway, they walked up this way, and then some say it may have been an accident and others say it was on purpose. But Idwal's uncle drowned him in the lake, and on windy days like today, apparently you can still hear the boys screaming from the bottom of it, so it's a haunted place. And bearing in mind that Prince Idwal was drowned in the lake, to this day, no birds ever land on it or ever drink from it, as the legend goes. So who knows, but that is pretty spooky, isn't it? You can see behind me now though, the view's really opening up. Tryfan there, the mighty Tryfan, absolutely clagfest today. I wouldn't want to be going over there. Just over the back here is a wonderful camp spot as well, around a little secret hidden lake. But for now, we'll carry on taking the path towards Devil's Kitchen and towards Llyn Idwal. How do? And you can see in front of me now the Glyderau Mountains. Some people call them the Gliders. That would be wrong, because we don't use S as a plural in Welsh. Gliders is a bastardisation of the word. Glyderau is the plural for the Gliders. But whatever you call them, don't call them the gliders. There ain't no planes up there. Anyway, I'm going to carry on this path and I'll speak to you again when we get nearer to the lake. Wanted to quickly share this view with you. This rock's quite an important little rock to me. One of my favourite pictures of my daughter Elsie is her stood on this rock, pointing all the way down the valley towards Bangor. And you can see just how beautiful that view is. And if you're watching this, our Elsie, then happy birthday to you, my darling. Pen blwydd hapus on a Cymraeg. Yeah, my little girl's birthday. And sadly with what's going on, I'll be missing it again this year. But she's had some cool gifts off me, and I hope she enjoys them very much. And I love you, sweetheart. Anyway, let's carry on with this walk. You can see lots of people bugging out of the walk today, I think, coming down the hill. But you can see, there's the path that you can see people on. And just in the distance, at the back, you might see the waterfall, and to the right of that is like a rock fall. That's the Devil's Kitchen itself, which I'll talk more about as we get closer. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, Llyn Idwal. There's Maxie running off to enjoy it. And as I said, no birds here, is there? Very quiet, very still, except that group of people over there. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to walk around the whole lake. Yeah, I'm going to walk around the whole lake. God, this hat does look daft, doesn't it? It looks daft, but I tell you, it's bloody warm. But I'm going to walk around this whole lake. I'm going to aim to get towards the foot of the Devil's Kitchen. Now, normally you could walk up the Devil's Kitchen and you'd be on top of the Glyderau. You could do Glyderfawr or Glyderfach, and then you could either walk back down the Devil's Kitchen, or you could walk along to Nant Peris and come down in the valley in Pen y Pass, or you could carry on walking and come down Bulk Tryfan and go down Tryfan and get back into the Ogwen Valley. So there's loads of routes, but all of those routes today I think are going to be deadly. The wind here has been pretty horrendous, as has the rain. And if I just show you in front of me in a second, you've got to be mad to go up there today, you know, because if you got into trouble, there ain't no helicopters coming for you. And bear that in mind, if you're looking at wind speeds and stuff for the tops of mountains, guys, just think, if an helicopter can't come, who's coming if you get into trouble? Because, yeah, It's dangerous out here during Storm Amy, and unfortunately I have seen plenty of plonkers trying to get up Earl Wither and various other places, and just ridiculous. The amount of call-outs Ogwen Valley had, Clanberry's team had during Storm Amy was nuts. And even today, just in this beautiful place, and this is a beautiful, easy route for anybody, but it's still in the mountains. So if you was coming here in summer, then absolutely walk around this lake in a pair of trainers and your shorts and your t-shirts, absolutely. But bear in mind, we've got a severe weather warning out in North Wales at the minute, and I've just seen people walking up here in jeans and Nike trainers. Now, as you know, I'm not elitist, but a pair of Nike trainers cost more than a pair of Carrymore walking boots, and a big flash North Face puffer jacket will cost you more than a waterproof jacket. And bear in mind, guys, down jackets are not waterproof. It might keep you warm, but once it's wet, you're buggered. That being said, a Gore-Tex jacket isn't warm either, so you need a fleece underneath. But to put it into perspective, today is 9 degrees, strong winds, very heavy rain. So I've got on a pair of winter technical trousers, and I've even got a pair of merino leggings underneath. I'm not going to say leggings because it makes me sound like a cross-dresser, doesn't it? I'll call them long johns. And then I've got a merino base layer on, I've got a fleece, and then I've got my Gore-Tex, a snood, and as we've always talked about, my cool hat. So yeah, come appropriately dressed. But I haven't got a massive rucksack on me today. All I'm carrying is a spare pair of gloves, spare hat in case this one doesn't hold up to its claim of being waterproof, and a flask full of tea and a bottle of water. That's it. That's all you need on this walk. But it is lovely, especially now this rain has stopped. Sorry, I was just distracted then. The group on the other side of the lake, just over there, I think they're about to go wild swimming, the absolute lunatics. Now, I've already told you about the history of this lake. Would you swim in it? Because I bloody wouldn't. Anyway, fair play to them girls. What I will say about that massive group over there, though, is they've also got a ghetto blaster. Now, remember, noise pollution is a thing, and people come to the mountains to escape the noise of towns and cities and everyday life. And not everybody wants to listen to your Taylor Swift crappy music. So if you are coming to the mountains, guys, be respectful of other people there, you know. Don't be blasting music dead loud, because not everybody wants to hear it. That is not why we're here in the outdoors. So, you know, be respectful of your fellow hikers, guys. In front of me now, just on the slight left of the screen, the big dark shapes you can see coming down the cliff face. Very, very famous place. They're called Idwal slabs. Now, Idwal slabs are famous for a few reasons. The first reason, back in 1831, Charles Darwin came here, which I think is bloody cool, because you always imagine Charles Darwin almost not to be real. But yeah, he came here in 1831 and he studied this area, declaring it to be one of the best examples of a glacial valley anywhere he'd ever seen. And to this day, geography students from around the world come to study this area. The other reason the Idwal slabs are famous these days is it's a massive, massive area for climbers. And I mean proper climbers, not people like me who do walking. Climbers with helmets and ropes and that, you know. So Idwal slabs very famous for that as well. And also, because of its beauty and because of its geographical importance, in 1954, this place here, and my God, it is beautiful. Let me turn the camera around. Yeah, in 1954, it was declared the first nature reserve, national nature reserve in all of Wales because of its importance. And the last thing that it's got here in Idwal is, if you know the Eryri National Park symbol, or the Snowdonia National Park symbol, it's 2 white lilies, and this is only one of 2 places they grow in all of Eryri. So yeah, that's very cool. I'm going to walk around this bend in a second. This rain stopped, so hopefully we'll have a quick cheeky brew. Well, so while that's rain stopped, we'll stop for a quick brew, shall we? And I thought this is an excellent place just to show you everything that we've been talking about so far. So you can see the start of Llyn Idwal behind me, which we've talked about, the prince being drowned in there. And then just over here, you can see Devil's Kitchen itself, or Twll in English. Twll yn y Cymraeg, or the Devil's Kitchen and Lloegr in English. They call it the Devil's Kitchen. You might be able to see the rock formation going up there, the rock fall. That's where you would scramble up if you wanted to get to the top of the Glidderai. And just, you might be able to see that gap just there. I'll put an arrow pointing to it, but just here is where there's a waterfall inside the 2 rocks. Now that waterfall, when it hits the bottom, causes all this steam and vapor to come up. And that's what people used to think looked like the devil hiding in the cave, cooking up on his cauldron, and all the steams come out and the sounds of rock falls inside and all that sort of stuff. sort of added to the myths and the legends. So yeah, Devil's Kitchen, as it's known in English. I don't think many people use its Welsh name. Well, the Welsh probably do, but Twll isn't something I hear many hikers talking about. They usually talk about the Devil's Kitchen, but there it is. And we're going to get close to it. I'll show you the bottom of it. If I'm honest, I don't probably fancy scrambling up it today, because it's bloody wet. You know, there's so much water coming off this mountain. It's unbelievable. So instead, I'm going to enjoy a lovely brew with a lovely view. And today, thanks to Nowco, I'm back on the Yorkshire Tea Gold. Oof. So come on, Yorkshire Tea. I'm sick of plugging you in videos. We know you're the best brew. Send me a box of tea for free. You know you want to. Cheers, guys. Enjoy the view. Oh. You won't be able to see them on this camera, but there is actually climbers on Idwal slabs today. I'm going to put a big finger in front. They're just about there. Absolute nutters, but fair play to them. You know, I can see from here, they obviously know what they're doing. They're full helmeted up, plenty of ropes with them, and bigger balls than I'll ever have, so fair play. Maxie, this way. So yeah, so I'm now at the point where you've got a decision to make on the path around Llyn Idwal. So, look at this waterfall behind me. You can either carry on going straight up at this point, in front of the massive Idwal slabs, or if I turn this camera around, I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to go down the path that you can see on your right. So you've got the Idwal slabs here, and at that point you either carry on up the path ahead, which will lead you directly to the scramble at Devil's Kitchen just over there, or if you want to keep low, keep easy and make life stress-free for yourself on a wet day, then you can take this path here to your right, and that'll do a loop all the way around the lake, which is what we're going to do now. But I am going to get Maxie back on the lead in a minute, because I do know there's some little sheepies around the corner, or daffhead bach, small sheep. So yeah, let's go and have a look at them. So a little bit closer to the Devil's Kitchen now, and the scramble on Twll. You can see from here it looks almost impossible. Once you're on the ground closer to it, it's a very obvious path that you pick your way up, and you go slightly towards that waterfall. You can see dead center. I'll pop an arrow if you can't, and then you swing left up, and you'll come to a stile eventually at the top there, which you then get over onto the Eryri. But we're not going to do that. We're going to take this low walk around the lake there, and you might be able to see a big group of people coming around, which I think was the group at the lake earlier. And we're going to walk past them and go towards Tin Can Alley. So that was cool. And me and Maxie just had to make way. We were just talking about this, the importance of geography in this area. And funnily enough, whoa, get up here. Hi. Maxie, this way, buddy.
Now I know what you're doing.
So yeah, so walking up there, you might see them in back, they're all in blue, but a geography field trip. We've come all the way from Huddersfield today. It's a shame the weather's this bad for them. But yeah, I mean, so it just shows, doesn't it, that all them years after 1831 that Darwin discovered it, kids are still coming here today to learn about the importance of these valleys. And when you look at it, I'm not bloody surprised, because it is proper good here. Look at this. I mean, what a right nice place, eh? Look at this. And this is such a simple walk for everyone. As I say, I'd have boots on today purely because these rocks are slippy, like the path is slippy. But, you know, any level of fitness could do it, any technical ability, you know, there's nothing scary about this walk in the slightest. It's a perfect country walk in a really beautiful place. And, you know, Elsie used to always enjoy coming here because for a little kid, this really does feel like being on the mountains, you know. You've got everything around you. If I just get the camera to go up a bit, but you've got all this around you. And for a child to be here, you know, you're a good few hundred feet up. It's just ace. It's just really good. So if you're looking for something to do in Eryri that isn't difficult, then I strongly recommend this. I really do. But it is a popular place, so maybe plan your parking accordingly. Oh, felly, dyn ni ddim yn dysgu Cymraeg heddiw. So today we haven't learned any Welsh today we haven't learned any Welsh, so we should probably remedy that, especially as we're in, you know, some serious heartland of Gogledd Cymru, which is North Wales. So Gogledd is north in Welsh, Gogledd, which is why North Walians are sometimes referred to as Gogs from southern people, or by South Walians. So there's your first word today, Gogledd. And today we've been walking. So walking, or to walk in Welsh, is cerdded. Cerdded is to walk, which is exactly what we're doing today. And I'm walking with my Max, or my dog. And dog in Welsh is ci. If you've got more than one dog, it's coon, which is dogs. So we've got dogs, we're on a walk. And the other thing that we've got in front of us today, I'm sure I've taught you this one before and you've heard it plenty. So there's Llyn Idwal, and Llyn is lake. Just beyond that, we've got the mountain of Llyn, and mountain in Welsh is mynedd. And there's a few cool Welsh words for you as well. I'm sure I've taught you before, but a second ago we had a brew, and a brew in Welsh is paned. Paned is a brew or a cuppa. Is what brew is. So there's some handy Welsh phrases to have. I'll be learning more handy Welsh phrases tomorrow as I continue my lessons, and I can teach you a lot more as well. But at the moment, let's stick to words, shall we? So there's some nice ones that you can learn, or ddysgu is learn, but strangely, ddysgu is also to teach in Welsh. It's not just to learn, it's also to teach, which is quite cool. And today, to get here, to get to the Ogwen Valley, I drove from my house, and drive is gyrru. Gyrru is drive, and I drove is gyrru. So in Welsh we have like stem words, and then you change the ending of words to give it a different meaning, like a command or an action, things like that. So to drive is gyrru, but I drove here, or I drove is gyrru. So a crazy language, and I drove from my home to the Ogwen Valley. And valley in Welsh, again, I'm sure I've taught you before, is coombe, not to be mixed up with dogs, which is coon. Okay, so very similar words and very similar sounding, which is what makes Welsh quite a difficult language to really get a hold of. But if, like me, you are on a journey to learn Welsh, then a few things I would definitely recommend is Duolingo. Duolingo is really cool. And Duolingo will give you great helps in learning to spell in Welsh. But what it doesn't teach, Duolingo, for me, is any kind of context. And for that, I would recommend an app called Say Something in Welsh, which out of all the apps and learning things I've used other than tutors, has been by far the most helpful in actually stringing sentences together in Welsh. I can't believe how nicer it is now that we're end stopped. It's really nice. And we're coming almost to back where we started now. You can see down the valley there, where those people are just across the water, that's where we came onto the lake. There's Tryfan now, and oh my gosh, the clouds have cleared. You can see right to the top of it, which is incredible, you know, and the wind really has died down now. But that being said, I'm glad that I didn't choose to go up. I was going to go up Eryri today. I'm desperate to get a video on there for you guys. At the minute, I've only ever shown you the Ranger's path up Eryri that I did with my son Harvey, and I'm desperate to get back up there. It's just that every time I've got a day off to do it, the weather turns out quite bad, and although I don't mind walking in the rain, what I don't want to do is a video on Eryri where I can't show you any of the wicked views really. So, you know, there's quite a few paths up Eryri, and it is my aim to do a video of each of the paths going up. But I've got a few other walks planned, and I've got a few holidays coming up soon. We're going to be going to, it's my birthday this month, and birthday, like Elsie's birthday this month as well. So Pen Blwydd is my birthday. Pen Blwydd Hapus is to wish you a happy birthday. But yeah, for my birthday this year, I know this is a bit sad, right? But I'm a bit of a, not a conspiracy, I don't mind a good conspiracy, but I'm a bit of a myths and legends buff, as you know, and I believe in them. You know, I believe these stories started from somewhere. And it's always been a dream, bucket list even, to go to Loch Ness and spend an evening Nessie spotting. I know it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? So for my birthday this year, I'm going to take my father with me. I'm going to be travelling up to Fort William this month. So I'll be doing a video up there, and I'll be showing you Loch Ness and Ben Nevis and Fort William and all them sort of areas. But if there's anywhere you want me to explore in Eryri for you, if there's somewhere you're thinking about going and you've not done it yet, or you're not sure if you'll be able to do it, then, you know, bang it in the comments what you'd like to see, and I'll happily go there. I've got a few other things planned to show you over the coming months, and I like it. This is why I love the YouTube, you know. It really, I go walking all the time anyway, but this just inspires me to find places that, for me, really showcase how beautiful my home is. And I mean, look at it. It's a right nice place, isn't it? Eh? Oh, I do love Wales. Dwi'n caru Cymru. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? How can you not love it out here? Fantastic. But yeah, leave it in the comments if you'd like to see anywhere, guys. So now I've got to the end of the, well, not got to the end of it, but I've gone around the lake now. I've gone around the Llyn, and I'm walking back down the path towards the visitors centre that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And again, here's the path for you, just so you can see how simple and easy it is. But again, nothing technical about it, just a little bit slippy underfoot on a wet day, you know. So boots are always better, because it's that sort of path where it'd be really easy for it to turn your ankle, you know. And I have seen on Ogwen Valley's Mountain Rescues Facebook group before, they've been up here an awful lot just to help people who've twisted an ankle, you know. So yeah, boots definitely recommended up here, just so you don't slip on your arse, because it'd be bloody painful, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'll chat to you again once we get to the car park and just give you some views of the Ogwen Valley now that rain has stopped, because it was a little bit damp, wasn't it? Llyn iawn on a Cymraeg. So llyn is wet, iawn, as you already know, is very. So llyn iawn earlier on when we were walking. So I'll be able to show you that magnificent view along the Ogwen Valley when we get to the bottom. So I'll speak to you in just a sec. So there we go, we're at the end of the walk now. I'm back down at the side of Llyn Ogwen with Penner Olwen just behind me there, and I'm heading back to the car now along what is an absolutely stunning bit of A road. I mean, what A roads have got views like this other than in Scotland, eh? Absolutely wicked. Anyway, that's pretty much it from me today down at Right Nice Places. And as always, chaps, if you're out there and you're struggling and you're alone, reach out. My email's on the YouTube. Let's have a walk, let's have a talk, and together let's fight the stigma of men's mental health and reduce this ridiculous statistic that men under 50 are more likely to die of suicide than anything else in the UK. That is crazy. But if you've enjoyed your Welsh lessons, you've enjoyed seeing a beautiful walk in Eryri, and you've enjoyed this Right Nice Place with me, then please do like, please do share, and don't forget, it's completely free to subscribe, and it means everything in the world to me. Until next week, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.